So I'm going to make a photo frame for this fabulous piece of digital art, which I'm just going to show you here. And the photo frame is going to be made from angled steel and make it look really funky, trying to imitate the British telephone box look. So I've got some angled steel here, and I've chopped it more or less to the right size. And what I'm trying to do is, actually the picture's going to go the other way around, and this bit here will be against the wall, so it stands out slightly from the wall. What I'm going. So I've marked out the length that I want, clamped it down, and I'm just about to cut that with my, that just wants just grinding up, smooth it off. Right, so they're all chopped up and smoothed off, and that's the general layout of what I'm going with. Right, so I've put a few tacks on there with my MIG. Okay, so I've now tacked it, the MIG, all the way around. Okay, so I've decided on these corners I'm going to weld it up here. Probably won't seam it, I'll just blob weld it. Okay, so I've now welded it up just along these outside edges. Okay, so now I've just ground it down very roughly. Okay, so I've marked the positions here and here where I'm going to put these two screws, there and there. Right, so that seems to have done the job. Let's have a look and see how it fits. Yeah, just perfect. Sticks out a little bit, which is fine. Okay, so I've managed to do those holes and countersink them. As I've got those tools in the workshop, it's always the way, isn't it? You never realise what you got. Okay, so I've decided I'm not going to weld them in. I just feel like that's cheating. So I'm put a nut on there. I'm going to cut these shorter so that the bolts are not too long for the thickness of the frame, and then unwind this and then bolt it into place, see what it looks like. Right, so I've managed to put these screw bolts in, and they are bolted in. And then what I've done is I've put some little tiny bolt nuts welded in, which I'm going to use some little, well, I've welded the nuts in. I'm going to put some little bolts in with some washers, then can hold the picture in place. So let that cool down, and then I've got an emblem to put on the top of the frame, and then when that's done, I'll paint it. So now that I've got all these little nuts welded in, which are going to hold the picture in place, I need to make some kind of a hanging hook for this. So I'm thinking is using a bit of this angle metal here. If I cut it to roughly there, where the line is, and then MIG it in, and I can drill a hole in the centre there, that should do the job. So I'm going to cut that now and drill a hole in it. Okay, so I've cut this piece here and I've made a hole in it with a hanging hook, and I'm now going to mount that just there on the back. So that's now tacked in as the hanger. It seems to be okay. Just grind it down. So I've put the little crown on the top, which is just like a little MDF cutout crown bought off of eBay, and that's pretty much finished now. Just going to prime it up front and back, and then spray it up in the red. See what this looks like. Okay, so I've now given it a coat of primer, and you can see these little weld blobs that have come through, which I quite like actually. I think that's a really great effect. Makes it look quite rustic. That's looking very good. And gonna give it the coat of red paint in just a bit, just let it dry off, and then paint it in the red. Okay, so it's now had a couple of coats of red and red paint. Looking good. Actually, it looks a lot darker in real life than it does on the camera. But, about what I want anyway. I'll probably give it one more coat after it's dried. Okay, so that's now, it's had about 3 or 4 coats of red paint now. So I think that's probably about done. The only thing I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, looks a bit too shiny perhaps. What I might do is put a little bit of antique wax or something on it, just to give it a little bit of a less of a shine, make it look a little bit older than what it actually is. But I'm happy with that. Looks good. Excellent. So I've now mounted the picture on the inside of the frame using those screws and some washers, and that's now in place. And the picture now looks like this. I've used some antique wax on the metal frame, and I rubbed the frame down with some wire wool. So that's what the picture now looks like. Now it's to save. So there we go. That's its final position.